ambassadors joining us tonight. These are students who have taken the first and second classes of our curriculum so that they are very aware of what the Certificate in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program is like. And they will be speaking at the end and be willing to answer any questions you might have as well. So I will go ahead and get started with the presentation. Can you all see the certificate program first screen? Everybody see that? Nod if you can see the program. Okay, thank you. Well, the Certificate in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program is designed exactly like a minor. Students take 5 courses as their path through to completion of their certificate with the objective of learning how to assess new venture opportunities. Now, I know that many students who come to Purdue have already started their own businesses. Many of them are on their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th business. This gives you new skills as you enter college. You get the chance to develop your leadership and communication skills and actually understand how to do the assessment of the new opportunities that are going to come with you as you enter college and go on. The program is fairly new on the Purdue scene. We are only about 16 years old, which is very young. A lot of people do take our courses. We have approximately 1,900 students walking around out there right now who have taken our first course, ENTR 200. We have become the largest multidisciplinary entrepreneurship program in the country. We are very multidisciplinary. We're not housed in the Krannert School of Management or anything like that. We are totally administered through a broad umbrella so that we can welcome students of every major to participate. There certainly is growing interest in entrepreneurship. You wouldn't have signed up to watch this presentation if you were not interested. But every year we see more and more students interested in coming to Purdue because they know they can get a strong discipline-specific education along with an entrepreneurship education accent. I know a lot of our students want to get involved in extracurricular entrepreneurship activities. Now, these are different than the actual courses involved in the certificate program. But let's say that you just want to be around people with like minds, maybe join a type of club to be involved in. You might be interested to know that we have an entrepreneurship and innovation co-ed fraternity called Delta Mu Kappa. We also have a co-working space for students. It's kind of virtual co-working space right now called the Purdue Anvil. We have the Purdue Foundry located on campus, and it is Purdue's business incubator. So if you actually have a business going on and you have some questions about that, you could also contact the Purdue Foundry. Now, all of those things are extracurricular. The Certificate in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program is coursework that you weave into your plan of study, just like I said, like a minor. So that is called the curricular part of the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Students learn about our program in all sorts of ways. We certainly do a lot of class presentations. We appear at BGR, we appear at a Destination Purdue, and Exploring Purdue, and Purdue's for Me. A lot of times you'll hear about it from your advisor. I keep in touch with all the academic advisors on campus. And then also word of mouth. It seems like people pass down from person to person as to the value of our courses. In order to complete the courses, students actually complete 5 courses over their period of time here. They do include ENTR 200, Introduction to Entrepreneurship and Innovation. That's the first class. In order to sign up for the first class, you just sign up for the first class whenever it works in right for you. We recommend that you sign up for this first class probably no later than the fall of your junior year. Perhaps sophomore year is really a good time or earlier to take ENTR 200. That is followed by ENTR 310, Marketing and Management for New Ventures, or if you like the social entrepreneurship slant, if you'd like to learn more about how you can be giving as a part of your organization or business, you could take Business Planning for Social Entrepreneurship. Students select 2 option courses, which are entrepreneurship oriented. They meet a specific criteria. from a long list, and many of those courses will double duty with your major courses so that it's not extra, it's already there anyway. And then also students take a capstone course. This usually happens their senior year. It's a culminating course enabling you to utilize everything you learned in ENTR 200 and 310 as a capstone course. Upon completion of those 5 courses and your Purdue degree, you have to complete your degree as well. And that is first and foremost, by the way. You actually receive a certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation suitable for framing, looks just like a diploma. And the certification is noted as an academic credential on your transcript. So how is this different than a minor? I've said a couple times it's like a minor. We could not call it a minor because if we did, we would have to house it in a specific school or college. Because we wanted to keep it totally interdisciplinary, we decided to title it something different. And that's where the title Certificate in Entrepreneurship and Innovation came into play. Our classes are small in size, about 40 students in each of our sections. We have about 9 sections going on right now, every fall and every spring. The 40 students in our classrooms might have 25 or 30 different majors among them. They work in interdisciplinary teams and they do projects throughout the semester. For example, in ENTR 200, the students might first do a project requiring them to research a successful startup company. At the same time, you're actually reading a textbook and you're learning how to do a feasibility analysis on an idea for a product or a service. You're learning how to do a competitor analysis. You're learning how to form business models and business plans. You're learning about sources of funding. You're learning about intellectual property. So as you're learning all these things, you're working in your interdisciplinary teams and doing team research. And then you also present your research up in front of the class. So it has a communications component to it as well. So our first class is an overview. Our second class takes a deeper dive into the financials piece and into market research and market analysis. Now, so you're hearing about these classes and you've heard me say the word finance and market research. So some students wonder, how is something like this different than a management minor or an econ minor? It is different. In a management minor, for example, students take courses in accounting and finance and business statistics and economics. Econ minors take different levels of economics, micro and macroeconomics, intermediate micro and macroeconomics, business statistics, and so forth. Our classes have finance certainly as a part of them, but you would be researching the finance to investigate how your financial projection might look for your company, year 1, year 2, and year 3, therefore giving a very different slant. Now, a lot of our students, and a lot of you students in engineering, are very, very good students who might have brought in a lot of credit with you. Therefore, you might be able to actually work in a management minor or an econ minor and the certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation. It's important to talk with your advisor about all the opportunities and how you might plot things in to be most beneficial for you. I mentioned business planning for social entrepreneurship, ENTR 315. That particular course does look at finance for entrepreneurship and startups and market research, but for social entrepreneurship entities. For example, in ENTR 310, you might study the financials for something like Nike shoes. Like when Nike was a startup company, what did their financial projections look like? For business planning for social entrepreneurship, you might look at a company like Tom's Shoes. That particular company provides a pair of shoes to someone in need for every pair of shoes sold, obviously giving a different type of financial model. So we offer courses that enable you to learn all about different types of entrepreneurship or whatever you might be interested in. We do offer some entrepreneurship capstone courses. Now, some of you might be taking these, some of you not. So our capstone courses offer something for everyone. Some of the students in our program don't plan to use this information right away. They might intend to go on to medical school or graduate school or do more research or go out and work in a company for a while before they use their entrepreneurship education. they would probably be interested in taking ENTR 480, Entrepreneurship Capstone, talking about entrepreneurship for them for the future. We have a capstone course that focuses on consulting. Maybe consulting is something you're interested in. And we have another capstone course for those students who really like the startup scene. Let's say that you are a person who's always been involved in startups, you always plan to do that. You might be most interested in ENTR 482. We are offering ENTR 200 and 310 in the summer. We have done this in the past as well. This summer, also, the courses will be distance learning. So you may take the courses from wherever you might be in the world or in the US. The courses are set up this way. We will offer ENTR 200 the first 4 weeks of the summer session. We will offer ENTR 310 the second 4 weeks of the summer session. And that is designed specifically because ENTR 200 is a prerequisite for ENTR 310. And then we offer one of our option courses in the summer as well. So you could actually get quite a few courses done toward the certificate in the summer. You might know there that we have done a little investigation. There are several other option and even some capstone courses offered in the summer. So students can get a lot done in the summertime toward the certificate if that's something they wish to do. Now, certainly these courses are offered every fall and spring as well. I just thought I'd give a shout out for our summer opportunities while I had the audience. A lot of our students have gone on to start something while they're here. Other students, like I say, just want the entrepreneurship education and they're going to take it with them and use it later. Thought you'd like to see a few of the things that our students have created. We always do exit surveys on our students, asking them what they got the most out of with our program. This is some of the information they gave us. 77% of the students say they are likely to be involved in a startup sometime in the future. 96% of the students believe that what they learned in their classrooms, no matter when they plan to utilize it, has been helpful for them for their future careers, no matter what that career might be. Now I'd like to call on our entrepreneurship ambassadors to talk a little bit about their impact and what they feel about for the certificate program. So I'll just start because I still see Grant. I'm going to start with you.
Hi, how are y'all doing? My name is Grant Hester. I'm an industrial engineering major, and I'm also looking to major in finance. I really enjoyed the entrepreneurship courses just because it allowed me to get a broad background on how to start a business. I took my courses over the summer. I took ENTR 200 and ENTR 310, and the professors were great for those courses. They're extremely helpful and knowledgeable on the subject. I feel like they really connected with us and made sure that we understood the material. I would recommend that you take those courses early on. I took those courses the summer of my freshman year. So after my freshman year, and it was a great time to take those courses because now I have the rest of my college career to figure out when I'm going to take the rest. So I would definitely start early, but the summer classes were very manageable and very well organized to do online. So I recommend to any of you out there to make sure to do those this summer if you're interested in that. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Grant. And your major is?
Industrial engineering.
Industrial engineering. So we have ambassadors in lots of areas of engineering. Tonight we have Grant, who's industrial, and we'll have Jason and Jenna, who are both mechanical. We do have an AAE ambassador as well, and he's actually away on co-op. So that should tell you right there. Yes, you can get the certificate done and still do a co-op, and still do internships, and still do other minors. And Grant, like he said, he's even anticipating an extra major. So I guess that I want to portray that it is doable and workable, but still adds a really strong positive accent. So Jenna, you want to start next?
Yeah, so I'm Jenna. I'm a senior mechanical engineer. I took 200 my fall semester of my sophomore year, and then 310 over the summer this past summer. So I took both in person and an online class, and I can say both versions were super cool. It was nice to be able to have like that kind of virtual team aspect and that in-person team aspect with both. And I'm getting this certificate, another certificate, and a minor with my degree. And I worked parallel co-op, so I worked part-time through the school year at Caterpillar. And this has fit in super well. So no matter what you want to do, it's super doable to work this into your schedule. I've only had to add the 2 extra courses because most of the option and the capstone work into my degree for mechanical engineering. Like I'm taking my capstone right now as my senior design course. And I know it's that way for a lot of the different engineering degrees. So.
Very good. And Jenna, can you talk a little bit about your instructors? I know Grant mentioned his, but the instructors of the courses are all practitioners. And I think that makes our courses a little bit unique to have actual people who've actually been through the entrepreneurial process teaching the classes.
Oh yeah, so my instructor for 310 this past summer, she had created her own like online glasses company. And so she would use her own like personal experience and things that she went through and examples when teaching the class alongside with the material. So that was really helpful that we could get like her insight on the material that we're learning.
That's right. They teach you the book work, but they all bring in their own accents, right? To
Yeah.
what they're teaching. Yeah, that's a little bit unique. Great. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
Jason?
So yeah, Jenna said a lot of what I was going to say too, to be honest. I'm mechanical engineering as well. I'm actually a senior as well. And I'm actually a dual degree. So I had a degree in Craner. I'm an economics major as well as mechanical engineering. So I have no overlap whatsoever between my courses for both degrees. So even with that, I was able to manage to have time to put in this degree, put in the certificate. I took both classes in person. I had also a big gap between my courses when I took them. So I had my first ENTR 200 class in my second semester of my freshman year, and then the ENTR 310 class in my, my junior second semester. So I had a lot of time between those. That wasn't bad or good. I mean, the material it builds upon itself, but you'll notice that even in your degree for engineering, you'll end up using the same principles from 200. So they're never actually going away. You just learn them a little earlier, which is very helpful. And then ENTR 310 has helped me for my final capstone course I'm taking right now, which is senior design for mechanical engineering. So also for clubs, it kind of helps out as well because I was president for Purdue Solar Racing for a year, and having the ENTR certificate helped me, I guess, also get higher up in the club in terms of leadership, and also helped me understand a lot of the business behind it. I mean, you might say that my second degree also helped with that, but I think that the entrepreneurship certificate had a considerable role in terms of my ability to lead. So.
You know, you are required to build those leadership and communication skills in our classes. And some students tell me that our classes are the only ones that they had that kind of opportunity in, you know, while they've been here at Purdue. And that's both engineers and people like computer science students will say that a lot to me. And it's also one of the only classes where you really get to interact with people from different majors. When you're working in those multidisciplinary teams, you will be the only at least the only engineer of your kind in your team. And you might be working with a person from pharmacy, another person from ag econ, another person from the Polytechnic, and another person from English. And I mean, you name it. And you get to work with all those people and have all those people on your team so that I sometimes call it Purdue major appreciation, because sometimes you've never even heard of the major that you're working with, right? So you get to learn all about these people, and it ends up that you kind of stick together for a while. You make really good friends, and you really develop those presentation and leadership skills too. because you were kind of graded on your teamwork. You have to do a good job. So yeah, Jason, I'm glad you said that about helping with the clubs and organizations that you've been in and grown those leadership skills, because that's exactly what our students tell us when they graduate, that they go out and they're ready to lead in the companies, and they're ready to be the people who start with the new ideas. So that's very important.
I also wanted to add real quick, sorry to interrupt, but it also allows you to think differently because you are people from different degrees. So they think entirely different than you in some cases. And it kind of allows you to have a more creative approach to solving a problem, which is helpful for the future as well.
Exactly. Speaking of that, I often hear a lot of our students say, my employer looked at my resume and saw that I was completing the certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation, and that generated a lot of questions. And I was able to tell that employer what I did in my classes, and they were very impressed by that. Have any of you three had that experience?
Yeah, I did so a lot of interviews will ask you to give a star format for like a task that you did and how it affected like what the outcome was and all that kind of stuff. And having ENTR experience allows you to use that early on in your career for interviews. I know for mechanical engineers, you also hit a sophomore design class. So after that, you can kind of use that kind of experience as well. But as a freshman, having an early on experience with design, or at least project management and innovation, allows you to use that for a nice interview topic, which can help get some brownie points in terms of getting an interview at least for a job.
Absolutely. I see Jenna and Grant nodding. It sounds like you both had that experience as well. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead here and go to my next slide, because what I want to show here is more information can be found so easily. And I want everybody to be able to go to our website to actually, confirm, look again at how to complete the certificate. And I want to show where to find the approved course list that shows the required courses for certificate completion. So I'm going to get this to you here. I'm going to drag it over. Here we go. So our website is purdue.edu/ENTR. Can y'all see it okay? All right. And if you go to current students, we've created a spot that says how to complete and receive the certificate. Gives you some nice steps. So all of you students who do go through and watch this video, or if you're watching right now, here's a good resource for you. Also here you will find what we call the approved course list, from which you select your option and capstone courses. Now, what most of you are interested in is the engineering part. So I'll just blow it up here so you can see it a little bit. You can study it more later. But we have a lot of engineering courses that fulfill option and capstone courses. And I teach you how to read this document during your ENTR 200 classes. And I also just want to draw attention to that it's not only engineering courses, but ethics participation can count towards certificate completion. So there's all kinds of opportunities, thus making it, like the students have said, a very accessible type of possibility for each of you. My contact information is everywhere. It is back at if you just look at our slideshow, it's there too. But I am Baker R at purdue.edu. You can always contact me and ask me any type of question that you want. I thought I was on every page. Oh yeah, I'm on this. I'm on the how to complete the certificate page. So yes, let me know anytime I can be of help to any student who has a question. Our ambassadors, you see their names up here right now, and they welcome questions too, right? You all give them a call. If you're an industrial and you want to talk to Grant, if you're thinking industrial, give him a call. Jason and Jenna there, they can answer questions about mechanical. And we can all refer you to anybody to answer specific questions about your degree. pursuit. So yes, Andrew, I think now that concludes the presentation. And I cannot see any chat rooms right now. That might be because I'm still sharing the screen.
Nothing in the chat. For the
Okay.
students out here, are there any questions?
Actually, I have a question, which is
Sure.
really not related with this because I'm a FAY student who is taking ENTR class, and our professor asked us to scan a QR code in this Zoom conference to show that we are here. And so I was wondering whether there's a QR code for that.
Yeah, I'll put it up after all the questions are answered.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
For the summer ENTR 200 class, will they be synchronized or like asynchronized?
What was the question? Is it what?
It's a summer ENTR 200 class, like the online portion. Will they be synchronized or asynchronized?
It will be asynchronous.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, because it is going to be called a distance learning class. And the distance learning classes are all going to be asynchronous. So if you see that designation, you can count on it.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
Are you going to
currently-
be in a different country?
Maybe, yeah. I'm actually like entrepreneur myself. Like I'm making products, so I'm have to go back to China for the manufacturing during the summer. So yeah, so I'm like really interested in the course and really want to take it.
Well, good. I'm glad we told you about it then. Yes, it's a doable class. I mean, even though it's condensed into 4 weeks and you probably don't want to take 2 classes during those 4 weeks, just stick with
Definitely.
one. It's very
On-
manageable.
I want to take the ENTR 200, then the ENTR 310, like
Right, yeah,
together. Yeah.
ENTR 200 the first 4 weeks, and then the second 4 weeks, you can take the ENTR 310. That'll work out just great. Now,
Mhm.
when you start to sign up for it, it's going to say, hey, you can't sign up for ENTR 310 because you haven't had 200 yet. So
Mhm.
you'll need to press the prerequisite button, and that sends a message to me, and I approve you getting into the class.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm currently in the exploratory study, so will I be able to sign up the course still?
You're currently in what? study?
Exploratory studies.
Oh, exploratory studies. Oh,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah, but if you're in exploratory studies right now, you can certainly take the class. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
All
you're
right,
in-
thank you.
Yeah, the exploratory studies advisors all know about our program as well, so they're happy to help you.
All right, thank you. And I
Okay.
think that will be my questions.
Okay,
Professor, I have one more question.
okay.
You have mentioned that the courses in this program has a lot overlapped with some minors in Craner, such as management or econ. But I just looked up for the minor requirement courses for management and also econ. But I found that there's like almost all classes they require are different. So I'm wondering how this works. Like
Yeah, no.
how can the ERTR course like meet the requirement of the minors?
Well, no, what I'm not referring that the courses in the minors overlap with the certificate program. I'm just saying that it's possible to weave in both, because
Oh, okay.
your entrepreneurship certificate courses include 200, 310 or 315, 2 option courses and a capstone. Now, those 2 option courses and your capstone might also be engineering courses that you have to take anyway.
Mhm.
All right. So really, there's only 2 courses, 200 and 310 for many of you, not all. Those management courses, you might want to weave them in at a different time. I mean, and choose them as different types of electives to fill different types of plans of study opportunities for you. But no, those don't overlap. It's just possible to do both of them because a lot of you have a lot of space to fill.
My bad. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good question too.
Kind of off that actually also. So for me, you have to take 200 and 310 required, right? For option courses, I ended up having my one ME course, so satisfied that one. Then I took one ENTR option course. I thought it was interesting, so I decided to take it. And then my capstone was covered by mechanical engineering senior design. So like most of the classes that you'll see there though can be satisfied by your major requirements. So essentially it's a lot of the times only 2 extra classes you really need to add to your schedule.
Right. And someone like Grant is going to need 3 because ENTR, I mean, the IE senior design course does not fulfill a capstone course requirement for the certificate. And that's been that way forever. And it probably always will be, because the IE folks have so much discipline specific information required for their senior design that they don't have time to work in information about business plan preparation or entrepreneurial education. So those students need to take one of our entrepreneurship capstones, which is great. That works out really well for them. So everybody's a little bit different in their setup, but we certainly make the path doable for all.
Yeah, and then another thing I know, at least for MEs, not only do a lot of our ME courses count for like entrepreneurship stuff, but I know in ME we have to take technical electives, and engineering or entrepreneurship 310 actually counts as a technical elective for us. So you are still killing 2 birds with 1 stone with a lot of the classes. So it works in really, really nicely into our degrees.
Absolutely. That's great. So I hope everybody feels comfortable, asking questions and maybe going forward. Do talk with your academic advisors about the opportunity. That's very important to make sure you talk with them and let them know that you're interested in this so that they can help you kind of plot your own path. Everybody's path is a little different. Anything else? See, Andrew, don't you wish you would have been here and been able to do that, huh?
I definitely thought about it, but
One more question. Will I be able to find the PowerPoint of this presentation like online anywhere?
Andrew, can you
So
tell them how to find it?
yeah, so this will be posted to YouTube here in a few hours. So if you go onto Brightspace and under career exploration, you'll be able to find the YouTube link.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it'll be on there. I can go ahead and share the QR code now and then finish up with any final questions if that's all right with everyone.
All right, that sounds good.
You all see the QR code?
Where can I find the career exploration? I can't find it. Is it like in my engineering class or?
Yeah. So go to your 131 class and under content. And then on the left-hand side, you'll see a tab for career exploration. Then on the page, there'll be a YouTube link.
I'll check on that later. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. QR code working for everyone?
Yeah, it is working.
Okay.
You want to get your credit for putting up with listening to all of us, right? No, we appreciate all of you students, all of you coming and share the information with your friends and let them know that we're always glad to answer questions.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew, has everybody got everything taken care of?
Yeah, yeah, everyone's free to go once they scan the QR code.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you for the presentation. I learned something for once too, so that's a good thing.
That's great. Well, you're all very welcome. Thank you,